this particular series, we're going to be breaking down 10 of the original 34 mat exercises. So it's quite an advanced workout. So I'm going to be very specifically choosing an exercise for each day, and then the movements that we do are basically like prep work and leading into us being able to perform that exercise. So at any point where you're kind of going, that's my top level, that's where I'm going to stop, then you just continue with that work. So I'll just be able to give you options as we go through. So at any point, you shouldn't feel like you're pushing yourself too hard or you're going to strain or hurt yourself in any way, okay? So I'm going to leave that responsibility with you guys to see how your bodies feel at the end of the day and through the class. So today what we're going to be doing is breaking down an exercise that is called the roll over. Okay, if you haven't seen the rollover before, I'm going to demonstrate it to you. Now, the only thing I want you to be very, very aware of is the pressure on your neck. So especially for women, we sometimes get injuries around the neck because of osteoporosis. If any of us have that thinning of the bones, you've got to be very, very careful with yourself and maybe hold back, don't do the full rollover. And you really need to make sure that you've got enough core control so that you don't neck and onto the head. So guys, before we start the class, I'm going to show you the exercise so that when we get to the end of class today, you know what it is that we're going to be doing. So you guys can stay where you are, and I'm going to demonstrate it for you. So in the original mat work, this was the third exercise. So I know it sounds crazy, but this is the third exercise that they do in the original mat work. So you're lying on your backs. You guys don't have to do this. I'm just going to be demonstrating for you. So the legs are extended, and then we start with the legs down at about a 60-degree angle. So you can already feel that there's a connection into the abdominals and the legs are together. So you inhale to lift the legs, and you exhale to roll over. And you bring your legs horizontal to the floor. And then you flex the ankles, so that can be quite a strong stretch. And then you separate the legs to hip width apart. And then you lower your toes toward the ground. So that is a very strong stretch for some people. And then you roll down through the spine. And your tailbone touches. You bring your legs a little bit away, point the toes, and close the legs. So I'll show you one more time. We do 3 that direction, then we do 3 with the legs apart. So just so you guys have a picture in your head of what it looks like. So I've just got a few more people to admit here. So guys, before we start, do you have any questions about that exercise that I just showed you? Is everybody super excited to try it?
So Renee, so you don't drag your legs back across your face. You just...
You can. Yeah,
okay.
you can. So in some variations, you take the legs over, and then as you roll down, you can bring your thighs quite close to your chest. In other variations, you maintain the angle at the hip joint, and as you roll through your spine, then you just let your legs move with you, maintaining that angle. So a lot of it depends on flexibility, and then one is just a variation of the other one. Okay. Yeah. Cool, because I know you've done quite a bit of the advanced work as well, so you've probably done like numerous variations. Okay. Fantastic. Is everyone ready to rock and roll? So I'm going to, great. I'm going to mute all the background noise, and then I'll open up the conversation again at the end of class if there are any questions. And guys, we're going to start standing today. So please come to the back of your mats. You don't need anything today except your mat. And if you've got any knee issues or back issues, then maybe just have a towel or a pillow available so you can give yourself a little bit of padding under the knees and under the lower back if you need. So separate your feet slightly. Double check big toes are level. Just lift your eye line look forward towards the horizon, and then just gently rocking your body weight forwards and backwards. And it's just going to give you a sense of connection into the front of the body and into the back of the body. So it's always about finding that balance between all of our muscles, between our connective tissue. And then center yourself on the arches of your feet. Take a moment to close your eyes. And we're going to take 3 deep breaths in and out right here. Deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. And again, breathing in through your nose. Out through your mouth. Feel your feet connecting to the ground. One more time, breathing in through your nose. Out through your mouth, feel the energy lifting through the crown of your head. And then blinking your eyes open as we move into our first roll down. So on your next breath, look down towards your toes and let's just roll forward until your hands are in front of your knees. And then you stay right here. Place your hands just above your knees on your thighs. And then start lengthening the spine. So you reach your tailbone back, reach the crown of your head forward, and then round your spine again. So you really suck the belly button up. And again, lengthen. So we're doing our cat stretch. We just happen to be in a standing position. Keep your knees a little bit bent. One more time, lengthen through the tail, lengthen through your crown, and then round in your spine. Now stay here, feel the connection to your core, let your arms go. Stay for a moment and take a breath in. Roll back up into standing, using abdominals, connecting to the back of your body, and lifting up until roll your shoulders back and around. Getting that opening across the front of your chest, and just allow your arms to settle there. Now we're going to do a second roll down. Take a breath in. Exhale, look towards your feet. Start rolling forward through your spine, but now we're going to come a little bit lower. So come down until your hands are just sort of in line with the middle of your shins. Now put your hands on your shins, and let's do our cat stretch here. And then round the spine. And we're going to do 2 more. Take your time. So we are mobilizing the spine here, which obviously we need for the rollover. And you might be feeling a little bit of a stretch into the back of the legs, which we obviously need for the rollover. Round your spine and stay there. Let your arms go. Take a breath in. Roll yourself back up into standing, rooting into the heels of the feet so you activate the back of the body and lifting up and tall. Once again, roll the shoulders around. This time, feel connections into the muscles between the shoulder blades, the rhomboids. And one more time, little squeeze, and then you hold it there. Last roll down. Take a breath in. Exhale, look towards your toes. Rolling through your spine. Heavy arms, heavy head. Come all the way forward until you can put either your fingertips or flat hand to the ground, wherever you can manage. And now from here, lengthen the spine. Maybe you need to push up onto the tips of your fingers. And then round your spine, suck the tummy in. 2 more. Lengthen. And round. One more time. Lengthen the spine, so it's a standing cat stretch. Round the spine. And now bend your knees and walk all the way forward until you come onto all fours. Right here. So take a moment just to balance yourself on your wrists and on your knees. Tuck your toes under And now we're going to hover the knees just up off the ground. So we just want to take a moment at the beginning of our class to find connections to all the joints, feeling how they are stabilizing, which muscles we're using to stabilize. And then on your next breath, lower the knees down and release your feet all the way back. Now stay there. Walk your hands a little bit wider than you normally would. Stretch the right leg all the way back. Now keep your pelvis level and just pick up the leg, hold it there, and then lower the toes down lightly. And again, pick up your leg. I want you to get a sense of keeping the knee extended and the movement is coming from the hip joint. Now again, this is relevant to the rollover, so we have a sense of where we are in space and do we have our legs straight as we do the rollover. One more time, lift your leg up, hold it, and now round your spine like a cat and bring your knee to your nose. Lengthen, reach your toe back and your head forward. And again, round the spine, knee to nose. And extend, reach back. One more time, round the spine. Stay here and step your right foot forward in front of you. So your foot is between your hands now. Make any adjustments you need. Come up onto the tips of your fingers. If you need a pad underneath the knee, you can. And let's just start moving backwards and forwards so that the front leg starts to straighten a little bit and then bend and come forward. So there's no right or wrong here. It's about finding a rhythm and a movement that feels good for you. And we're just going to do a few more before we go into a hamstring glide. So bring your hips backwards and stay here for a moment. Now, the leg that's in front of you, your right knee, bend it slightly, and then lift your toes up towards the sky. Lengthen your spine, so you're creating as much space as possible, and then start to turn the toes in and out like windscreen wipers, and your knee will be moving in and out slightly. The movement is actually coming from the hip joint on the right side. So this is why we call this a hamstring glide. Those three muscles at the back of your thigh that make up the hamstrings need to be able to move freely over each other. So turning the toes in and out. Keep lengthening your spine, shoulders away from your ears. And now just bring your toes back to the center, placing the foot all the way down. Now walk your hands forward, put both hands to the inside of the right foot. Put your hands right next to each other. Pushing into the hands, balance as you stretch the right leg all the way back. And then bring that right knee in. And once again, open your hands wide apart. Let's do the other leg. Left leg stretches back. Now guys, make sure that your pelvis is level. Pick up your leg and lower it down. So as you lift your leg up, are you able to stabilize the knee joints? Are you able to stabilize the lumbar spine? We want to be able to apply this connection and this control into the rollover. One more time. Lift your leg up and you hold it here. Round your spine, bring knee to nose. Lengthen, extend your leg back. And again, round your spine. And reach. Take two more. Feel the abdominals connecting. And stretch. Now on this last one, round, step Step your foot through between your hands. Make the adjustments that you need. Give yourself a cushion under your right knee if you need. And come up onto the tips of your fingers. And then find your own rhythm as you start moving gently forwards and backwards. Find a little bit of softness into the back of the neck. Try to keep space along your spine. So guys, it doesn't matter if your leg is completely straight or not. Tune into your own body, see where you can go. And now bring your hips backwards. Soften that front knee a bit. Lift the toes up. And then start to turn the foot in and out. And the trick here is to try and keep the pelvis still as your hip turns in and out. It's very, very tempting to start moving the pelvis and the shoulders as well. Let's just take a few more. Lovely hamstring glide. And listen, just take a moment to notice, how does this side feel for you in comparison to the first side? Like, is one of them tighter for you? Or maybe you feel it differently, like my left one, I can feel it on the outside of my knee here, whereas on my right one, I felt it on the inside of my knee. So it just gives me information about my hamstrings. Bring your foot back to center, put your toes down, shift your body weight forward. Now put both your hands flat to the floor on the inside of your foot. Bring your hands close together. Now stretch your leg back, and you're going to need to balance because your hands are very close, so it's a little bit unstable. And then bring the knee in. Now separate your hands, shoulder width, bring the knees together, and you probably are going to have a longer base than normal. With a neutral spine, start to bring your body weight forward. And then shifting back so you push away from your hands. So it's not a very difficult exercise, but again, the application for this in our rollover is that when you're lying on your back and you take your feet overhead, your arms are on the floor and they're pushing onto the ground. And what you're using are your back muscles called the latissimus dorsi. Your arms and your upper body have to work quite hard. So we actually want the brain to recognize those muscle groups as we shift forwards and backwards here. And then just say to yourself, separate your knees a little bit, walk the knees a little bit forward, and let's ready to go into our thread the needle. So reach your right arm out to the side, thread the needle all the way through. Guys, if you need to put any kind of cushion underneath your head, then please do so. Settle your neck, settle your head, and then if you want to increase the stretch, remember that you can reach that left arm all the way forward. And again, what that does is it stretches out the latissimus dorsi. So again, it's just bringing some awareness to the upper body. And this is such a lovely exercise before we do the rollover because it's going to help release the neck so that we're not holding too much tension there, hopefully. And also it mobilizes the thoracic spine because we want to have a fairly flexible spine in order to even take our legs overhead, right? And on your next breath, bring that left hand back underneath the shoulder, press up, reaching your arm out to the side, and then placing your hand down again. Reach the left arm out, threading the needle all the way through. Just allow yourself to settle for a moment. And then you can slide the right hand forward. And just breathing into that release. And again, just observing your own body. How does it feel on this side? Taking just one more moment. And then bring your right hand back in. upright, and then bringing that hand back down. Open your knees wide, big toes together, sit your hips back, and then I want you to actively tuck your tail, round your spine, and bring your head all the way in. So it's not the same as child's pose in yoga, where you lengthen the spine and reach the arms out. This is an actively rounded spine. And again, we're just using this to our best advantage today in order to prep ourselves for rolling over. Taking one more breath in and out. And then bring your hands towards your knees as you roll upright. And come and sit in your mermaid seat. So again, I'm going to do a mirror image for you. So you should have your right shin in front, left shin to the side. If you want to sit up on a cushion, then sit yourself up on a cushion. And let's just go into our lateral flexion of the spine. So this movement may not seem directly related to the rollover, but what it does is it starts to release the lateral lines of the body, the side lines of the body. And as soon as you release the side lines of the body, it actually facilitates the back line being able to release. So it's all connected. Let's just take a few more. Opening up the side body. One more. Putting your right hand to the ground as you do one more. Stretch over. And then come all the way up and stay here for a moment. Double check that you've got your right fingertips pointing away from you. Turn the left hand palm up. Start to open up your chest as you reach back. And then round your spine as you bring your hands towards each other. And again, opening all the way up. And then round. Feel that stretch and opening between the shoulder blades. Let's take two more. So again, for anyone who's really tight between the shoulder blades, this is going to help you get into a rollover so that you're not straining into the upper back. Come just back to the center. Pause and releasing all the way up. Spin your feet around so you're going to sit on the other side. And again, if you need to sit on the cushion, if you need to change your leg position, and let's just go into that lateral flexion again. And so it's the same movement of the spine and the rib cage, but it might register a little bit differently with you, depending on if your hips are tight. So it might be easier for you on the other side, or it might be easier for you on this side where you've got your left leg in front. Let's just take a few more. Getting that stretch around the diaphragm, the rib cage, the lungs. Now put your left hand to the ground, last stretch over, and then come all the way up and straighten your arms. Have a quick look at your hand, fingertips pointing away. Right hand turns palm up, and now open up across the front of your chest, and then round your spine and bring your hands together. And again. Open up the front, and then open up the back. And don't force it. You'll find that as you move, your body will naturally start to release a little bit anyway. Last one. And round. Come all the way back to the center. Pause. And sitting upright. Bring your feet around to the front and just take a moment to balance. Now I need to turn myself so that I'm going to be sitting lengthways on my mat. If you guys have turned sideways, then you need to also reorientate yourself like this. And you're just going to balance here. Lightly rest your hands on the front of your shins. Tuck your chin in, and we're going to practice rolling like a ball. So we're going to inhale back and exhale up, and see if you can balance. If you need to put your feet down, that's absolutely fine, and then hold them again. Inhale, keep your head off the floor. Keep your chin tucked in. Let's take 3 more. And feel free to move your hand position if you want your hands behind your thighs. Good. 1 more. Up you come and balance and placing your feet down. So move back a little bit so you can get your toes onto the mat. Separate your knees and your feet a little bit, and then bring your arms out in front. Relax the neck and shoulders. Take a breath in, half roll back, curl your tail under, and feel connection into your center without straining your lower back. And then roll forward and lift up tall. And again, curl back. So guys, this is probably one of the best preparation exercises for the rollover, because now we're getting the curve of the spine with the connection to the abdominals and the hip flexors. So that's really, really crucial for the rollover. So let's get you really comfortable with this before we progress. Last 2. And roll forward. And on this last one, let's go all the way back, all the way back, all the way back, and let your arms settle to the ground. Nice. Bring your feet a little bit closer in towards you. You're still going to have your knees and your feet slightly separated, and we're going up into a pelvic curl. Take a breath in. Exhale, tilting your hips. Rolling up, getting that lovely squeeze from the base of the pelvis. Pause here for a moment, relax your neck, and then roll down through the spine. Imprint and release. We're going to go again. I want your mental focus on the articulation of your spine. So this is relevant to the rollover. Articulation of the spine. And now let's do another pelvic curl. And I want you to focus on relaxing the back of your neck and your head. So at this top bridge position, you should be able to kind of wobble your head easily from side to side. Yeah? Take a breath in and roll down. And we're going to do one more time. Take a breath, and this time focus on pushing your arms into the floor. So that's very important for the rollover, is activating the arms. Take a breath in, and then exhale. Work your way down through your spine, and release. I want you to hug both knees in towards your chest, maybe do a little bit of a rocking action from side to side. And then your hands behind your thighs, legs together, flex the ankles, and on your breath out, extend both legs nice and straight. So we're just testing out the hamstring length, and then bend your knees. Let's do that 3 more times. Exhale. And release. 2 more times. As you straighten your legs, double check what's happening with your abdominal connection, and does your lower back feel okay? 1 more time. Exhale. And release. Now point your toes, and this time as you straighten your legs, bring your head towards your knees. And releasing all the way down. And again, so you've noticed now that we're changing a few things. There's the pointing and the flexing of the feet, which you notice that we use in our rollover. And now with the chest lift, we're bringing ourselves into a little bit more of an abdominal connection. Chest lift. Now guys, I'm going to ask you to stay here. I want you to start to lower your left leg towards the ground. Hold both hands to your right leg and slowly pull your leg towards you. And then bring both legs up. Switch hands, lower the right leg to the floor, both hands on the left leg as you pull towards you. It's long and it's slow, there's no bouncing. Switch, we're going to do 2 more. If you need to support your head, you can put one hand behind your head. If you need to put your head down, you put your head down. One more time, all preparation for the rollover. Bring your legs up, hug your knees in, and relaxing all the way down. Just rock your head a little bit from side to side for a moment. And then say to yourself, cross your right thigh over the left thigh. You can hold the knees, or you can start to slide your hands down towards the ankles. But you want to get yourself into that deep gluteal stretch on the right hip. Get your shoulders and your head level. See if you can relax the back of your neck a little bit. And if you had to rate yourself out of 10 on the intensity of the stretch, what would it be on this right side? So again, these gluteal muscles, when you do the rollover and your legs are overhead, if your gluteals are tight, it's going to create a lot of tension on the back line of the body. So we want to make sure that the pelvis is helping you release to go into the rollover position. Let go, uncross, hug your knees in for a moment, and then switch over to the other side. So crossing the thighs over, move your hands down to your ankles if you can. And then say to yourself, breathe here for a moment. And then what would you rate yourself out of 10 on the stretch on the left hip now? And notice if you're giving yourself a different rating. Or maybe you're feeling it in a slightly different area of the hip as well. A few more moments, relax your head, soften your neck and shoulders. And then on your next breath, uncross your legs and hug both knees in towards you. Now bring your knees up to a tabletop position. Put your hands just on your pelvic bones here. So you need to stabilize through the lumbar spine. Head is down. You're going to lightly tap one foot to the ground and then stretch. And you can do this slowly, or you can jog the legs in the air. But what you should be feeling is that the hip flexors at the front are working on the way down and on the way up. And there's almost like a loading into the abdominals because of it. So again, going back to the rollover, we need these hip flexors to be awake. We need them to be able to work in order to hold our legs in the air, to move our legs away, and to bring them up again. Breathe. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. Place both feet onto the ground. Reach the left arm up overhead and roll onto your left side. You're just going to have your knees bent. Take the right hand up. Bend your elbow and place your hand into your lower back. And then just let your head slip forward off the arm and see if you can get a little bit of a release into the side of your neck here. If it's too much, then just keep your head supported. Stay here for just a few seconds. So this is a really lovely release for around the upper traps. And then bring your head onto your arm again, reaching the right hand up Step your right foot back, look for the ground, and roll yourself onto your back. Switch arms. The right arm goes overhead. Roll onto your right side. Just have the knees a little bit bent where it feels comfortable. Left arm reaches up. Bend the elbow. Bring your hand either to your back or up a little bit higher if you can. And if you want to stay here, then stay here. But if you want to, you could slide your head a little bit forward, just to increase that stretch. If it becomes too much, put your head back. Few more seconds. And then lifting your head, bringing your hand all the way up. Step your left foot back, look for the floor, and roll all the way on to your back. So we're going to go into a roll up. If you need to put any kind of padding underneath your lower back, then do so. Stretch your legs out long. Now squeeze your legs together. Point your toes or flex the feet. It's up to you. Reaching your arms overhead without letting your ribs pop, and make sure that your shoulders feel okay here. We're ready to roll up. Lifting arms, lifting head, using your breath. And I want you to stop with your nose above your pubic bone. Stay here for a moment. And then roll down through the spine. And reaching your arms overhead. Let's go again. Lifting arms, lifting head. Breathe. Stop with your nose above your pubic bone, abdominals connecting. Guys, if I flipped you upside down, you'd be in a rollover position right now. And then roll down. So this is an easier version of the rollover. Let's go again. Inhale, lift arms, lift head, breathe. Beautiful. Stay here. Feel the abdominals connect. Take a breath in. And exhale, roll down. Reaching arms overhead. Now we're going to do 3 more, and I'm giving you a little bit of a progression here. Arms, head, breathe. Stay here. Turn the palms of your hands to face out and sweep the arms behind you. Feel the triceps, feel the lats. Bring the arms around, palms face each other, and roll down again. So that is the connection to the upper body when we're actually doing the rollover. Let's do that again. Lift arms, lift head. Nose above pubic bone. Turn the palms out. Sweep the arms behind you. This is triceps and lats. Imagine that you're pushing your arms against the floor. Bring your arms around again. Palms face each other and begin to roll yourself back. Such a lovely connection into the core. Nice control. Reach back. This is the last one. Here we go. Lift arms, lift head, breathe. And hold, turn your palms out, draw a lovely circle all the way to the back. Find your upper body connections, bringing the arms to the front again. Now stay here and simply roll up and relax. Good. So guys, we always need to put a little bit of back extension into our classes. So this is where we're going to do it now. So separate your legs just about the width of the mat. Flex your feet. You might need to bend your knees. You might need to sit on a cushion, which is absolutely fine. And I want you to take your hands on the sides of your legs and imagine that you're sitting with your back against a wall. Take a breath in, grow a little bit taller. And then as you breathe out, just nod your chin and start peeling your spine forward, and your fingertips will naturally slide down along the sides of your legs. Stay here, take a little breath in, and then roll yourself all the way back upright. And lifting nice and tall. So that's a nice test run to make sure that you're sitting in the right place for you. Make any adjustments. We're going to add on nod your chin, rounding through the upper back, lower back, stretch over. Now, lengthen your spine, and you can use your hands to hold onto your shins if you need, because the upper body really helps you to lift up through the chest. If you don't need your arms, then you just keep them there. And then round your spine, roll upright, and sit up nice and tall. 2 more times. Nod your chin. Making sure that you're not taking any strain into the lower back. Lengthen your spine. Use your arms as much as you need. Reach through your crown, shoulders away from the ears. And then round your spine. Roll back up. Good. This is looking really nice from those of you that can see. One more time. And nod your chin. Rolling forward. Lengthen your spine. Find those back muscles. Maybe you can just take your arms a little bit up and away just to test yourself. You still have your back extensions working. Bring your hands down. Round your spine. Rolling all the way back upright. Lifting up tall. And relax. Nicely done. Bend your knees. Come and sit near the front of your mats. Now, I want you to watch me once. We're doing a rolling like a ball, but we're extending legs at the back. So just watch me, and then feel free to join in. I'm going to tuck my shirts in so it doesn't fly everywhere. Hands are here. Legs are lifted, and I still have my knees together. You see I'm in my ball rolling shape. I'm going to roll back, but then I stretch my legs. My arms are here to help me balance, and then I roll like a ball, and I come up. Okay? So come and join me at the front of the mat. We're going to use our hands to help ourselves. Tuck yourself into a ball shape. Now, guys, you're going to glue the ankles together. If you can, glue the knees together as well. When you're ready, roll back and stretch your legs out. Use your arms to help yourself. Bend your knees and roll back up. Use your arms to help yourself as much as you need. Good. And we go again. Very nice. Roll back. And roll up. And if you want to put your hands to the front of your knees at the front, then you can do that too. Put your hands down when you get ready to roll. And roll up. You can balance here, or you can keep your hands down. 2 more times. Roll back. So you can see that this is a preparation, yeah? One more time. Stay up and balance, balance, and placing your feet all the way down. Turn to lie on your left side, stretching your legs out long. Chin up, shoulders down, fingertips are light on the ground. And you want to make sure that you've got your pelvis and your shoulders stacked. Squeeze your legs together. And on your breath out, lift both legs. And release. And again, lift. And release. 3 more. So what we're trying to do here is getting our brains to wake up the obliques on the right side. Because these help you with the rollover. This is part of your abdominals group. 1 more time. Lifting legs up. Now stay there. Now let the bottom leg go down and up. 4 more. Now what we're doing, guys, is waking up the inner thigh on the left leg. Because your inner thighs help you keep your legs together when you do that rollover. But we're not doing lots of repetitions because I don't want to fatigue these muscles. We want to wake them up. Lift up now, stay here. Now the top leg goes up, not too high, and down. 4 more. Now what we're doing is waking up gluteus medius, this little side bump. Because this is the muscle that when we separate our legs in the rollover, it holds the legs apart. Again, we're not doing lots of repetitions because we don't want to fatigue these muscles. And lower, bring both legs all the way down. Bend your knees up in front of you as if you're sitting on a chair, and let's do 1 thoracic rotation to open up the chest. Lifting your arm up, bring it all the way back, because when we do the rollover and the arms are pushing to the floor, we need the chest to be open. Take a breath in, and exhale, coming all the way up. Pressing yourself all the way up. Swing yourself into the center and just balance here for a moment. Feel free to close your eyes if you want to challenge your balance a little bit. And then in your own time, swing your legs over to the other side. Bring yourself into a sideline position so that we can do the other series. So from here, light on the fingertips, legs together. You go to lift both legs. And release. So we're working the obliques on the left side. Waking them up so that when we do the rollover, they're going to kick in immediately, hopefully, because our brain recognizes where they are right now. One more time. Stay here. The bottom leg goes down and up. Down and up. Feel the inner thigh connecting. Feel the squeeze of your legs together so your brain recognizes it when you do the rollover. Squeeze. Now, top leg goes up and down. Gluteus medius. Little side bump. Can you feel it? Keep that mental focus. 2 more. 1 more. And hold. And lower your legs. Good. Bend your knees up, sitting in a chair. Cradle the back of your neck. Left arm goes up and back. Open up through the chest. Let your knees and your hips adjust so that you're not hurting your lower back. Take a breath. And then exhale, lift up. And bringing that arm all the way to the front. Press yourself up. Bring your feet around to the center. Balancing yourself. Feel free to close eyes if you would like to challenge. And taking a moment to really feel the deep connections. Not all those superficial muscles, we're going to use those too, but can we go a little deeper? Notice how your breath affects those connections. And then open your eyes and you can place your feet all the way down. So swing your feet around. Come and sit near the front edge. Arms out. We're going to do 1 roll back. Exhale as you start placing yourself all the way down. And relax here just for a moment. So guys, this is where we piece it all together. So now we're going to do the rollover here. I'm going to talk you through it as much as possible. Try to keep looking straight up at the sky and listen to what I'm saying. If you feel that you need to turn your head and watch, then maybe just sit for 1 set so you can watch and then join in. We're going to do 6 in total. So 3 with the legs together and then 3 with the legs apart. So arms down, palms down. Bringing your knees up to tabletop. Can you feel the connections to the hip flexors, and does your lower back feel safe? Squeeze your legs together and feel the inner thighs connected. Extend your legs upwards so you feel the stretch at the back of the leg, and you can feel the placement, the extension of the knees. Can you bring your legs just a little bit away from you to challenge your abdominals right here? Start by bringing the feet up to the ceiling, and then breathe out, roll over. Use your arms to push, 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 push. Now stop there. Flex your ankles, separate your legs a little bit, and if you can, lower your toes towards the ground. It doesn't matter if they touch the floor or not. Now roll down through your spine. Use your abdominals to help you guys. If you need to lift your head off the floor, then lift your head off the floor, that's fine. Your bum touches, you point the toes, bring the legs away and close them, inner thighs. Lift legs, breathe out, roll over. Use your arms to push. Flex the ankles, open your legs, lower your toes if you can. Breathe out. Use your upper body, use your abdominals, energy through the heels of the feet, and then when your bum touches, you point the toes and close your legs together one more time. Lift legs, roll over, lower abs, flex the ankles, separate the legs, lower the feet, roll down to the spine, bum touches. Hold it here just for a moment. Point your toes, but keep the legs apart. Now, if this is giving you any strain or pain, please rather do that rolling like ball version that we did earlier. Start to bring your legs a little bit away from you, but your legs are separated now. Here we go. Lift legs. Exhale, roll over. Use your abdominals, use your pelvic floor. Flex the ankles. Close the legs, lower your toes if your flexibility allows for it. Roll down through the spine. Remember, you can lift your head off the floor if you need an extra connection to the abdominals. Bum touches, point toes, separate the legs. Two more. Flex, close, lower the feet, roll down. Bum touches, point your feet, lower the legs a little bit, separate the legs. It's the last one, make it the best one. Over. Flex, close, lower, roll down. Use your arms, use your abs. Point your toes, bring your legs away, and this time, just hug your knees in towards you. Stay here for a moment. Allow your eyes to close or to soften your gaze. Just taking a moment to rest. Place one foot to the ground. Place your other foot to the ground. Hands just down. And now I want you to just lift your bum off the floor. And just stay here for a moment so that you feel that your back and your pelvis are completely at ease. So I'm not doing any kind of tucking with the pelvis. I'm just actually letting my bum hang. And then you can do a little bit of a sway or a hammock from side to side. And then bring yourself to center. Placing the pelvis down, roll onto your left side, pushing yourself all the way upright, and then make your way up into a standing position. So it doesn't matter where you stand, I'm just going to turn to face you. Separating your feet slightly, just give your arms a little bit of a shake, give your knees a little bit of a bounce. And then just let your body find some stillness. Once again, either soften your gaze or close your eyes. And just take a moment to observe yourself standing in space. Noticing the connections of your feet to the ground and your head towards the ceiling. Notice your joints stacking. Take a moment to feel the effect of all the movements leading to our rollover today. Allow your eyes to soften. Taking a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Blink your eyes open and give everything a little bit of a shake. Nicely done, guys. Did everybody feel okay with what we did?
Yes, it was a stunning class.
Yes.
Fantastic, Fina. I'm so glad. So, you know, for a lot of people, if you can do the rollover easily, you just take it for granted, right? We just
Yeah.
over. But so many people, if you've got any neck issues, you've got to do a lot of prep work for it. And if you've got any kind of lower back issues, you've got to do a lot of prep work for it and lots of modifications as well. So hopefully you guys managed to kind of like navigate your way through it and kind of check in where it felt okay or not. Was everybody good with everything? No issues?
Yeah. No,
fine, yeah.
You prepared us really well. That was great.
Oh, awesome. You know, because also a lot of people as well struggle with the rollover, and if you just wake up those connections and then all of a sudden you're doing it and you're like, wow, that, you know, it's not as difficult as you think.
No, when you break it down in pieces,
Yeah.
it becomes so easy.
Yeah, it becomes accessible, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. No, because I think as well, something I didn't offer, which I will add for some of them, some people, if you've got like a really locked lower back or weak lower abs, that initial rolling over of the legs, it really helps if you put your bum on like a little pillow or a little inflatable ball, because then your pelvis is already lifted and there's not that much further to go. But from what I could see with you guys, you all seem fine with the movements.
Yeah.
I use my arms much more.
Yeah, no, you know,
I felt it in my arm a lot more than usual.
yeah. But this is what a lot of people don't realize, is that when you're, as soon as you are upside down and you're balancing on your shoulders and your head, your arms are your foundation. You know, we all kind of ignore the arms, and your triceps and your lats should feel like they've had like quite a workout if you're doing it.
Yeah, well, they do.
You did, you felt it.
For the first time, strangely. Because
Yeah.
I never felt it was hard to roll over as such, no.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fantastic. I'm so glad that you felt it. And you know what it does too, is it takes all the weight load off your neck and off your lower back.
Mm.
Yeah. Awesome,
Probably,
guys.
yeah.
So listen, tomorrow we're going to do swimming. We're going to do some back extension. So we're going to break that down. Yeah, because once we've broken it down and released what we need to release, it should feel like a piece of cake, kind of like today, you know? So let's see how it feels. I'll put it into my little thing, but you guys, if you've got a tennis ball or the spiky massage ball, we're going to need it for a little bit of release work to facilitate the swimming tomorrow.
Okay.
Excellent. Thank you, Renee.
Yeah, thank you, Renee. Thanks.
I'll do the catch up tomorrow then.
I'll see you tomorrow at 11.
All right.
I'll see you
Thank
Wednesday.
you.
Bye.
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 Bye.